I'm Esty.
I'm Arisbel.
I'm Monica.
I'm Juan.
And this is our 440 final presentation.
So the topic for our presentation is tobacco use among high school age students. Our subtopic is to reduce the amount of tobacco use in high school students. And our target population is high school students aged 14 to 19.
So our curriculum is titled Second Chance, and the topic that it explores is people or students who are struggling with tobacco use and who have violated tobacco policies at their schools or other places in the past. So this curriculum targets high school students, and it wants them to understand the tobacco policy where they initially violated it, and it wants them to increase awareness of why you shouldn't be using tobacco or other nicotine products, and it wants to increase awareness about ways that you can reduce your risk or your health behaviors that would put you at risk to use tobaccos, and it wants to help you quit the overall use of tobacco and other nicotine products.
So my lessons plan's name is Tobacco, How About to Bad No? And I developed my lesson plan around the fact that aside from having to deal with internal pressure, like students seeking social acceptance from others, they have to deal with external ones as well, like what's commonly known as peer pressure. It can be that some of these students don't even have the intention of using drugs, but because they are confronted by peers who may pressure them into trying drugs, that they, for the sake of being socially accepted, that they open a door to a harmful path. For this exact reason, my lesson plan focused on helping students realize what peer pressure really is and offering students different ways of taking action when presented with peer pressure and how to avoid these situations. In doing so, students are also given the necessary tools and skills to develop and on their refusal skills, which is further expanded on through the refusal skills activity in this lesson plan. It's important to give students these essential tools to combat peer pressure and not only help avoid becoming involved with tobacco, but with other drugs as well.
Okay, so my lesson plan is named Breathe Healthily, Live Happily. And this lesson plan focused on teaching the students the physical effects of tobacco use and tobacco smoking. And well, as many of us know, cigarette smoking harms nearly every organ in the body, and smoking is the leading preventable cause of premature death in the United States. And in addition to cancer, smoking causes lung diseases such as chronic bronchitis and emphysema. And cigarette smoking is the most significant risk factor for chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Therefore, it is important to educate students at an early age the importance of living a tobacco-free life. So for one of my activities, I decided to do an activity where students will be able to understand the physical limitations that people experience from the use of tobacco products. And in order to demonstrate the health effects of tobacco use, the students would have to grab a straw, run in place normally for 30 seconds. And when they stop, we would ask the students how they feel about after running in place for 30 seconds with the straw. Then after that, they would grab the straw and run in place with the straw. And pinch their nose and have the students run in place again. And after the students finish running, they would ask how they feel after running with the straw. And then the students would discuss among themselves the differences between running with and without the straw. So the outcomes of this activity, students will have a better understanding of the physical limitations that smokers encounter every day due to simple things like running in place. Yeah, so this just basically shows what the students will be doing, how they started off by watching a video, and then they go on to doing the activity. They will be showed a presentation on the chronic diseases that are also caused by tobacco, and then by the end of the lesson, the students will just write a reflection paragraph about all the information that they learned in the PowerPoint, the video, and yeah, the chronic diseases caused by it and the physical effects.
The name for my lesson plan is Unseen Danger, and I will be talking about secondhand smoke. The population will be high school students, and the learning objectives will be that by the end of the lesson, students will be able to identify five harmful chemicals found in secondhand smoke. Also, that the students will be able to give an example, one health risk of secondhand smoke. The reason I developed this lesson plan is so that students understand that there are many risks to secondhand smoke, and that all products that are used to inhale and exhale smoke cause secondhand smoke. For my implementation, I'll be using a video to show how secondhand smokes travels and enters like different places such as classrooms, rooms, a neighbor's house, and we'll also be doing a true/false questions for the students, as well as a presentation that will be 20 minutes, and the instructor will also provide an activity that will be using props, and they will be making something called secondhand smoke soup, and in a mold they will mix ingredients such as a candle, batteries, toilet cleaner, fingernails polish remover, rat poison, pipe cleaner, pencils, urine, and mouthwash. All of these ingredients represents actual ingredients that are found on secondhand smoke, and this will demonstrate students that what they're smoking or what's being smoked and what's traveling in the air is actually toxic air, and it's causing things such as cancer and heart problems. And for the closure, I will ask the students will be asked to write about what they learned in class, and they will write the five harmful chemicals found in secondhand smoke, and they will also write about one health problem that is found for secondhand smoke.
All right, so for my lesson plan, it's called Say Toodaloo to Tobacco. And it's going to be targeting not only the students, but also the parents and the teachers. So the objective of this lesson plan is that the students will be able to identify why they started using tobacco by listing 3 of the most influential factors that cause them to start using tobacco. They will also be able to recognize the danger of tobacco by listing 10 of the harmful effects that it will have on a person. And they will also be able to master refusal skills by practicing them with a partner. So the way these objectives will be completed is with an introductory PowerPoint, which will have a list of trigger words on there that will all be synonymous with tobacco use. And there's going to be 3 activities. So the first activity will the students will be broken up into groups of no more than 10 students each. And in the first activity, you're going to be sitting with a partner, and you will be discussing why you started tobacco use. And after the discussion, you will make a list of those 3 most influential factors. The second activity is going to be a matching game. And there's an example on the slide in which there will be several cards, and on one card it'll say a harm of tobacco, and then on a different card it'll say why it is harmful. And these cards will be scattered all over the place, and you have to take the time to match them up. In the third scenario, there will be a scenario given, or the third activity, there will be a scenario given to you. And then there's an example of the scenario on the slide. And the teacher who is leading the group will read out the scenario, and the students have to form a response to it. And then there will be a concluding activity in which each group will sum up what they learned and share their outcomes from each of the activities. So these are our references, and that's it. So thank you for watching our presentation.